Got to race through this, which stinks because I wanted to get into it. SEC coaches aren't the only ones talking about Tennessee. The NFL guys aren't doing Josh Heupel any favors. 2 weeks ago, we played you a clip on this show of Dante Thornton saying that Pete Carroll asked him before the draft or right around the draft, what about your route running? Can you run a full route tree? And Dante Thornton said, I told him, go check the Oregon tape. And the guy he was doing the show with was a draftnik. And he said, yeah, just go look at the Oregon tape where you ran a full route tree. Okay, and you had asked Josh Heupel about it, and he pushed back on that. Yeah. He didn't like that idea. All right, well, Titans coach Brian Callahan recently talked about how college passing games are different than the NFL passing attacks, where you don't have as many anticipatory throws. But he singled out Heupel's system. Let's go ahead and put this up. The University of Tennessee, that's a spread out that system. That's spread out that system. And so sometimes those are, as you say, predetermined throws. The ball's going here no matter what. It looks like they're doing it quickly, but they may not really be seeing anything of substance, meaning they're not doing the read thing there. All right, so fast forward. This week, Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer was talking about Joe Milton, who's now a Cowboy, and he said, Joe is a guy that we obviously know all about the talent, but the system that he came from in Tennessee creates some challenges in terms of what he has to learn and things like that. Folks, I don't think Josh Heupel will want that out there. Look, I've been told that negative recruiting isn't a big deal, but everybody does it for a reason. That would seem like things that could hurt you on the recruiting trail. The more people are saying it. True, false? I mean, now that they're kind of coming in waves.
I think it's easy. Like, you have a target, and everyone can just pile on it.
Yeah, but why would
you could go for quarterbacks alone.
But why would these guys be targeting Tennessee, though, is my only.
I think they targeted Mac Jones after Josh McDaniels left, and he had kind of a fall off. We have Matt Patricia, and he didn't do very well. So I think the quarterback position is always just kind of a wash anyway. So many of those first round number one draft picks never really pan out. I think maybe what should concern you more than negative recruiting is about the wide receiving route or tree, not so much about Joe Milton.
Well, no, I'm just saying that the system, he's saying that you can't really teach you. You were having to reteach the guy, basically. I just think that's not something, if I'm the daddy of a five-star quarterback, and Josh Heupel's had no trouble recruiting five-star quarterbacks, but that would concern me that I'm going to have to relearn my kid after he's done at UT.
So here's the way I see this debate. So if you're recruiting a kid and you say, look at that 2022 offense, average 46 points and 525 yards, or are you trying to get that guy ready for the NFL? What's more appealing to that player, to be productive in the college system or to prepare for the NFL? And I think you're going to find some that would rather be prepared for the NFL. So they're going to see some of these quotes and say, I don't know, that might not be the best system, so I'm going to go to this other school that makes me more pro-ready. I think it could have an impact.
I think so, too. On the other hand, if you're Josh Heupel, you're saying, was Hendon Hooker on anybody's draft list before he got into my system?
That's right.
Before we went for those huge yards, was Jalen Hyatt on anybody's Bolitnikoff watch list? So you could make the case the other way, but I'm with you. I think the more people say this, the more it becomes a concern.
Well, and while that debate is still out there, in the meantime, they need some of the players from the system to succeed in the NFL.
Yes.
And then that will validate his system and move people towards the argument of, hey, you can do both. And getting you prepared for the NFL comes as a after effect of having a successful college career under our system.
Final word.
Yeah, so far Josh Heupel has beaten those comments when it comes to recruiting quarterbacks. He couldn't have done better so far in three straight classes. Faison Brandon committed. It's an important year for guys like Mike Matthews, Travis Smith, elite talents who have come in at wide receiver to develop in this offense and show they can, because they're next level talents, I think most people believe, to show that on the field in the system and then produce down the line in the professional ranks.